So, you know him from high school, or maybe you guys grew up together and he was in the friend zone, but now he's showing up differently. And so you're trying to decide whether or not you should let him out the friend zone. But before you do, I want you to watch this video. Welcome to Heal the New Sex, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I'm a licensed therapist and coach. Hope you guys had a happy Valentine's Day yesterday. And for the Heal Squad members that came out to group coaching, love y'all. We had a good time yesterday. And we had a coaching call after the coaching call. So if you are going to meet with us on the 21st or the 28th for group coaching, clear your schedule a little bit so you could be at the after party, okay? But over the past, I want to say maybe 3 weeks, I've worked with multiple women in counseling and also in coaching as it relates to, somebody coming back in their life. And I'm going to be honest with you, the women that I've worked with, it hasn't gone well. That's why I'm doing this video. Now, are there outliers and are there times in which a romantic fling from the past or a man in the friend zone can come back in your life and that's your Prince Charming? Yes, that absolutely can happen. But I want to give you some skills on what you need to do as it relates to if this should happen. And if you're considering moving him from the friend zone to the my man zone, okay? First things first, I need you to pay attention to what is going on in your life when this man shows up. Usually when I hear about a woman moving a man from the friend zone and in order to date him, what has happened is that she is either in a most likely she's in a low place. Let me just say it like that. She's in a low place in her life. She's seeking comfort, validation, and affirmation. And guess what? He's always been a friend. So he's been there. He's watching her. He knows that she's in a low spot. Even if he doesn't know what's exactly going on, he knows that she's not in a relationship. He knows that she's not married, right? Because of the increase in communication and access he has to her. You need to be mindful of men that wait in the shadows for their opportunity. Every man that's waiting in the shadows for their opportunity to get with you is not necessarily grateful that it's now his turn. Sometimes he is waiting in the shadows because he really about to get that lick. Do you understand? He really feels some type of way that you have been dating other men over him, and now all of a sudden you want to give him a chance. So now that you've given him a chance, he plans on taking you for a ride. Let's just say that. He plans on taking you for a ride. So you have to be mindful of that, okay? So mindful of the time period in which you are in. Then the other thing I want you to do, if you should decide to date your friend, I need you to be honest with yourself as to why he is now attractive versus him not being attractive when you first met him. Now, of course, if you met him at high school or early college, you may have been hyper-focused on what it is that you were trying to accomplish. I remember working with a client and they had liked this girl, and it turned out like she turned him down because her dad was very strict on his daughters about focusing in school. And so he found out years later that her rejection of him was not because she ain't want him. It was because her dad ain't play. Okay? And so you should explain that too, right? But if you know you're really not interested in him, he's not your type. And what I mean by that is that he's never been your type. But it's like, okay, well, I might as well give him a chance because don't do it. Don't do it, okay? The other thing is, if you should decide to move your friend, move him from the friend zone and date him, you are not dating the person of the past. Many women will be like, oh, I met him at high school or we went to college together. And so, you are dating him from a place of being familiar. You don't know that man. I don't care if y'all been friends for 25 years. You know him as a friend, but you don't know him as a romantic partner. And so your guard needs to be up, okay? The same vetting process that you would do any other romantic partner, the same boundaries that you would have with any other romantic partner, you have to have with him. What you can't do is be like, oh, he's been my friend. So then you just let him come in. You don't really vet him. You don't ask him questions. He's not really dating you. What I've seen is that women when they start dating their friend, they fall into this kind of pattern. Oh, we just kicking it and we're hanging out. He needs to be able to tell you whether or not he's intentional with you. If you're going to do it, you need to date him as if you never knew him before. He doesn't get a pass because he's been your friend. He doesn't get to play on the nostalgia of your past. No, you have to get to know that. Like, let's say for instance, I told you guys in a couple of videos ago about how I dated someone, and it was so it had to be 2011, so that's like 15 years ago. I was going to graduate school and he was like, I'll move and I'll go with you, and I told him no. So let's say that man came back in my life, okay? Who he was 15 years ago is not who he is today. Who I was 15 years ago is not who I am today. So we would have to take time and get to know each other all over again. You need to slow down and really get to know him for who he is today, not romanticizing who he is today based off of who you knew him to be before. Oh, he was so sweet to me. He was so kind to me. I remember he bought me a Valentine when we were in the 12th grade. I remember, he asked me to go to homecoming, but I was dating, the football quarterback of the high school, the homecoming king. So I couldn't go with him. He was always so sweet. He was always so kind. He always gave me money. No. You have to date him as if you don't know him, because you don't know that man. All right. So the same level of intention that a stranger would have, you have to require the very same thing. The same level of respecting your boundaries, you have to require the same thing. You need to be asking him questions about his past and his dating history and his previous relationships. You need to be very honest about, okay, I know before we were friends, but now we're moving forward. How do you view and see us as it relates to a romantic relationship? What does this mean to you? I've seen too many women that'll move a man out of the friend zone and he plays her worse than the other men that she's dated. Now, I know some people will tell you, listen, don't date him if he's in the friend zone. And I feel that way too. If you are attracted to him, right? If you were attracted to him initially, you're probably not really attracted to him, especially if it's a low point in your life. Okay. So, like I said, some people will tell you not to, but guess what? Y'all go do what you want to do. Y'all go do what you want to do. But if you're going to do it, at least be wise about it. Okay. Do not have sex with him. Make sure he is intentional and you guys want the same things. You value the same thing. Don't feel like, this is the thing. I don't want you to feel like just because he's been in the friend zone before that he still can engage in manipulative behavior as it relates to you and toxic behavior as it relates to you. Sometimes the most devastating and disappointing thing is when you move a man from the friend zone to my man zone, and he shows up the complete opposite of how he was when he was your friend. Sometimes when a man is in the friend zone, that's where he shows up as his best behavior. But when you move him from the friend zone to being in a romantic relationship with him, that's when you get to know him. Remember, moving him from friend zone to being your man or your romantic partner, that requires another level of intimacy. When you're a friend with somebody, a man and woman, that's usually superficial. You're not telling him all of your secrets. He doesn't see all your shortcomings. He may have been attracted to you. You weren't attracted to him, so you moved in the friend zone. So now this relationship requires a deeper level of intimacy, but you have to ensure that you build the foundation for the relationship. Your previous friendship doesn't get to extend here. No, because it requires a deeper level of intimacy, and you need to be able to see him clearly, not through the lens of all the years you've known him. Because men in a friend zone will play you too. Okay? And I'm not laughing at you or anything. It's the truth. They will play you too. They will lie to you. They will manipulate you. They'll engage in triangulation and breadcrumbing, and you'll be heartbroken. And really, he's like, aha, got you. You put me in the friend zone? Okay, I'm about to show you some. Now, of course, it could be the total opposite. And this man comes in your life. He loves you. He cherishes you. He adores you. He esteems you. And that's what we all want. but you have to be wise. Don't just go with the flow. Don't just rush in it. Don't just have your guard down because, oh, that's my friend. No, sugar. Say he just a friend. Oh, baby, you. Okay. All right. Well, I love you so much. This is Heal the New Sexy. Be sure to meet me this upcoming Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern for group coaching, or on the 28th. We still have some slots available. All right. Talk to you later.